Alright, welcome to the second half of the season. Last week was week 7, this is week 8. We got 6 more to go, which means we are just over, and the league is starting to get interesting. Some people at the top, some at the bottom, and some are free falling, right, Aaron? Speaking of Aaron, let's get into the studs and duds of the week. Aaron, you are my dud this week. I told you in that comment you're starting to look like a girl who's getting ugly. You lost 3 in a row now, I think, and if we go all the way back to week 1, you beat me by 5 points. So, you easily could be 3 and 4. You need to get it together. Studs. 3 people I give the stud to this week. 2 big league-changing victories. One by Andy, and the other one by Nick. Nick, you just keep separating yourself. You're getting stronger, getting past your luck. Also, you took down Aaron, which makes it a little bit easier for the bottom half. And Andy, you took down your dad, which was big because he was getting hot there as well. And Chris, I give you the start of the week as well because you have 3 defenses and you still won, so that has to mean something. Maybe a new trend. Who knows? Let's get to the games this week. First one, we have Aaron versus Ben. Aaron, I will say that I think as a team, as a female, you're getting uglier, but I still like your team. I still like them this week. I like that you put McKinnon in, and I like just Antonio Brown. I've mentioned it every single week. So it's really the question is there anything that will make you lose? And I think Carson Palmer is one of those things. Philadelphia is the #1 defense right now, especially with touchdowns. So I would fear playing him. So Ben, can you upset him? I want to pick you, but I want you to put Jeffries in. Okay? Alshon, put him in. Put him in for Hopkins. Put him in for Sankey. Please put him into one of those 2 spots. So unfortunately, Aaron, I think you do win, even though you're on a 3-game losing streak. But I feel very nervous picking you. Ben, change your lineup, or prove me wrong. Next game, Drew Wagner, Tyler. Okay. McFadden against the Browns. That is probably going to be a good day for him. Everyone runs for 100 yards against us. As Denard Robinson, he remembered what it was like to play for Michigan last week. Let's see. But I think that is a decider. If the Browns can stop McFadden, I think that you will lose this week, and here's why. I think Tyler's team is just with some pickups, but also just some injuries that have pushed some of his players to the spotlight, or some players sucking. I really like Romo, Miller, and Bradshaw. So all they got to do is get the ball to Fitzgerald, and Tyler wins. So I think this comes down to Fitzgerald versus McFadden, and I really like that you put Mark Ingram in. And look, Tyler has the Browns defense. So I think the Browns show up, and I think Tyler wins. So go Browns on that one, I guess. Enjoy the win, Tyler. Next is Nick versus Chris. This shit really comes down to, can Nick lose? So I have to look at Chris's team and decide. Philip Rivers already played to look good. McCoy, please do something. Trey Mason could be a good pickup. Des Bryant, Randall Cobb. Your team is much better than 2 and 5. And guess what? I think this is your week. Wallace continues his touchdown streak. I gotta go against Nick one more time. Okay. I don't like Allen Robinson. I don't think Russell Wilson scores 40 points every week, and Vereen is so risky that he might not get any receptions. So, Chris, enjoy it. Next is my game versus Heiser. I'm on a 5-game win streak. Some of the hate I got for always picking myself, well, I do good when I pick myself, so I'm going to win again. But there are some players on Heiser's team that makes me nervous. Tom Brady makes me nervous. I think he can get it together. Ben Tate, I think against a really bad Oakland, makes me nervous. Sammy Watkins, I don't think shows up this week. There's trouble in Chicago. Brandon Marshall called it out. Does that mean he gets more receptions or less this week? And I don't think Denard Robinson is any good at all. So yes, I think that I win. I don't think he got enough firepower to match up with the leading scorer in the league, my team. Next, we have John Davis versus Andy. A little good 3 and 4 match. John, I'm not calling Baldwin a stud yet. I think it was a good pickup for that week, but we got to see if Seattle continually goes back to him now that there's no Harvin, because it wasn't really like they're giving the ball to Harvin a whole lot. Anyways, and Stafford always makes me nervous when there's no Calvin Johnson. So, Andy, let's look at your team. There's some trouble in your team, as in there's trouble in New Orleans, there's trouble in Chicago, and you got 3 players on your team from that. That makes me nervous. And Sanu dropped off. So I think this is maybe a low-scoring game, but when I weigh out what I see on each side, I'm going to go with Andy because I do think New Orleans or Chicago, one of them's got to pick it back up and play better this week. So Andy, enjoy the win, and going to 500. All right, last one is Baker versus Jim. This one I kind of got a handicap on because of Baker already has put up 75 points. So it's really a question, can Jim bridge the gap? And here is some hope in that. I think both Baker's running backs stink, Bush and Stewart, not even worth playing. And I don't really think Johnson is consistent either. So I think there's a chance 75 could be, you probably won't double that with the rest of your players. So Jim, again, Cutler, I don't know if he's going to do well. I do know Murray's going to do well. I don't know if Jones is going to go well. Why is Atlanta so bad all of a sudden? Why did they do this last year as well? T.Y. Hilton, I like. So sure, let's go for it. Jim, you do make the comeback. You get back in the winning streak. And Ben, even though you put up a lot of points on Thursday, you put up barely any points on Sunday. Game over. Alright, so those are my picks for this week. Enjoy, comment, do all that good stuff, and go Browns.